The brief commentary on Sura Al-Qamar. Interpretation of the one verse of Al-Qamar. It is reported that Abdullah Masud said, "During the life of the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, the moon split into two parts, and the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, 'Be witnesses of this.'" This hadith was narrated by Ahmad, al-Bukhari, Muslim, at-Tirmizi, and others. Interpretation of the second verse of Al-Qamar. It is reported that Anas Malik said, "The inhabitants of Mecca demanded from the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, to show them a sign, and then the moon was divided into two parts, which was observed by the inhabitants of Mecca. And then the verse was sent down, the hour approached, and the month split, to the words, 'And they say, this is transient or strong, or false, witchcraft. That is, this witchcraft will pass.'" This hadith was narrated by at-Tirmizi, who called it good and authentic. A similar hadith was also reported by at-Tabarani from the words of Ibn Abbas. Interpretation of the 17th verse of Al-Qamar. The Mujahid said, "Allah made it easy to read it." As Sudi said, "We have made it easier for the language to pronounce it." Ibn Abbas said, "If Allah had not made it easier to pronounce it for the human language, then none of the people would have been able to pronounce the word of Allah." Ibn Kathir reported this. Interpretation of the 48th verse of Al-Qamar. It is reported that the Meccan pagans quarreled with the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, regarding predestination, and then the verses were sent down. "On that day they will be dragged face down into the fire, taste the touch of hell. Verily, we created everything according to predestination." This hadith was narrated by Ahmad, Muslim, at-Tirmizi, and others. Interpretation of the 49th verse of Al-Qamar. It is reported that Abdullah Amr said that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "The Kadarites are the Zoroastrians of this community." This hadith was narrated by Abu Dawud and al-Hakim. Ahmad's version says, "There are Zoroastrians in every community, and the Zoroastrians of my community are people who deny predestination. If they get sick, don't visit them. If they die, then do not attend their funeral." Similar hadiths were also transmitted from the words of other companions.